Welcome back to LEGO Battlebots Season 3. It is time for the final fight card of the second round. After this, we're going to be getting into the Desperado, and then in the third and fourth rounds of fight cards where bots are going to be fighting to guarantee their tournament spots. But first, the first fight of this episode is a very interesting match between Nemesis, the channel mascot, and Biohazard. Biohazard has a very good track record against full body sprinters, being out of the storm at least twice and Gigabyte once. So Nemesis is not really favored design-wise, and also Nemesis is currently sitting at 0-1. So Biohazard is also 1-0, so they're sitting at the favorites to win this, I would imagine. But Nemesis has a lot more power than Eye of the Storm or Gigabyte had, so it's going to be very interesting to see if Nemesis can actually do some real damage and break Biohazard. We saw Eye of the Storm manage to get it, flip Biohazard over in their first encounter in Season 2. And who knows what's going to happen. It's a very tough match for both bots. Biohazard looking to go 2-0, Nemesis looking to avoid falling to 0-2 along with Siege Engine. Let's see what happens down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Oh, big deflection from Biohazard early. They're taking control as expected, swinging around using that back wedge to absorb the shots from Nemesis. Nemesis not quite flying like we saw them against Mannerheim last season, but they're still going up in the air. Biohazard, as you expected, is keeping control. They've already taken a little bit of damage to their lifter, but that's really not very important. But Nemesis gets to the front, batters in that lifter of Biohazard, and the front has come off. Nemesis getting a ton of shots on the front. And that's the one thing that full body sprinters haven't been able to do against Biohazard. Get to the front of Biohazard and damage that lifter. Usually Biohazard deflects them around for a long period of time, and then lifts them out of the arena. But Nemesis has completely flipped the script by damaging the lifter and even removing a whole bunch of the front wedge. Nemesis taking a lot more control than you expect. Biohazard fails to even land that real charge right there. Or as Biohazard still trying to deflect Nemesis, but the damage has been done to the front. And Biohazard hitting Nemesis now for one of the first times in this whole fight. Oh, what a huge shot by Nemesis. Biohazard has beaten full body sprinters badly before, but none have had the power and durability that Nemesis possesses. Now Nemesis trying to get them into the screws. That doesn't work. Can't out-control the control bot in this scenario. But Nemesis just keeps hitting the front. Biohazard just keeps throwing his front to Nemesis. It's kind of getting sloppy driving here for Biohazard, to be completely honest. Nemesis doing a great job to pin Biohazard down in the corner. It's not like a full pin, but they are keeping them contained even. And this is some great work from the channel mascot. And as it delivers blow after blow, sure, Biohazard's frame isn't likely to come apart, but this level of control, this level of aggression, and the damage it has done, Biohazard's not likely to do damage, and time is running out for Biohazard. And they've got to get something. They've got to get underneath Nemesis and throw them out of the arena. But Nemesis just refuses to let that happen, delivering blow after blow, sending Biohazard flying. Who would have thought that Nemesis would be dominating this fight? I mean, I'm sure there would be some people because Nemesis is Nemesis, but Biohazard is like one of the truest horizontal spinner killers in the field. And Nemesis is just beating them up right now. And this is just some sheer domination from Nemesis. Who would have thought that Nemesis would have been great in judge decisions? And this is true indeed. This fight between Nemesis and Biohazard will go to a judge decision, and it's not in the way you'd think. Biohazard started off in control of that fight pretty as expected. They were deflected Nemesis a lot during that fight, and they looked like they were really about to completely controlled Biohazard for the full 3 minutes at the start, but Nemesis was able to get to the front and cripple that lifter, which was really what started the demise of Biohazard. They got to the front and nobody else could have, no other full body spinner could do that before. Just look at that, those 2 shots right there is what turned this fight. Biohazard's driving just got worse from thereafter, and they never got the same level of control as they did. There's the shot that ripped off most of the front of Biohazard, and things never looked up for Biohazard from there. They got a little bit of control, sure, with the pin right there, but Nemesis was just able to stay separated from Biohazard, and was even able to contain Biohazard. Most full body spinners just sit and play and wait for their opponents to come to them. This is twice now we've seen Nemesis take the initiative, take the offensive, when they know sitting still won't work. And this is one of those things that puts Nemesis above those other full body spinners, besides obviously the sheer destructive power and durability, is their ability to adapt to different situations. Against Monochrome and against Biohazard now, they have gone full-on offensive. They know they couldn't sit passively in this fight, and dang, it paid off. Biohazard was rocked by the impacts and couldn't adapt at all. Your winner by 10-5 judge decision is Nemesis. Next up is a clash between 2 0-1 bots, those being Switchback and Extinguisher. Switchback lost a very close judge decision, huge, where your drum got damaged, and that was really what caused them to lose the fight. While Extinguisher, they kind of got dominated by Monochrome. They only took a couple of shots before they were out of the arena. Extinguisher, they had the redemption season back in Season 2, made it all the way to the round of 16. Switchback doesn't have too much to prove, but Extinguisher has a reputation to maintain. They lose this one, they're sitting at 0-2. But Switchback doesn't really have that same pressure as Extinguisher has to maintain its reputation. It's going to be interesting to see if the Wedge of Extinguisher or the raw weapon power of Switchback will prevail in this one. So let's go down to the arena and see what happens. Let the bot battle begin. Both bots spinning up their weapons. Ooh, a little shot to kick things off. Switchback's drum goes backwards. Extinguisher gets spun a little bit. Both bots going can go head to head. Not really up here. Oh my goodness! Extinguisher, I think, did a backflip there, and the wedge came off as well, and that's gonna do it. Extinguisher's durability always a problem that comes back to haunt them here.
9,
Switchback
8,
has already
7,
won this fight.
6,
What a
5,
knockout for
4,
Switchback.
3, 2, 1, knockout.
Missed a couple of shots and Extinguisher was already blown apart. Switchback's drum was definitely powerful enough to break Extinguisher. While Extinguisher falls to a very bad 0-2, Switchback is probably one of the better ones, getting a dominant knockout and losing by a close judge decision. Switchback's future looks bright, Extinguisher's not so much. Next up is a clash between Reticle and Unnecessary Violence. Reticle completely dominated Arctic Wind, and now they're taking on another big vertical spinner without a really good anti-horizontal configuration. Another very good match for them. Unnecessary Violence, on the other hand, lost to Deep 6, an even bigger vertical spinner. So Unnecessary Violence is really going to have to close the gap between them and Reticle if they don't want Reticle to just completely annihilate them. Let's see if that happens down in the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Unnecessary Violence takes the first couple of shots without any serious problem, and the weapon is just completely stopping on his gauge, and the wedge has come off, and the other wedge has come off. Unnecessary Violence now a pure reach vert. Ooh, they get sent spinning hard. Now that weapon is basically done for. Already, Unnecessary Violence easily punching back in the first like 20 20, 30 seconds. Oh my goodness, what a shot by Reticle, and they are just sending unnecessary violence, spinning all around the arena, and now they get flipped over. But Reticle kindly flips them back over to land another nasty shot. Oh my goodness. This is basically the perfect matchup for Reticle. There is absolutely nothing unnecessary violence can do. And there they go, flying again. This is some of the most brutal shots from a horizontal spinner we have ever seen. Reticle, and Reticle not content. There goes a piece, and now unnecessary violence is struggling to drive. You see their left side drive has been disabled now. And they're just crab walking. Reticle continuing to attack, and they're looking to put this fight away. Ooh. Shot after shot. Oh, and there's another one. Oh! All the way across the arena goes Reticle. Not Reticle, unnecessary violence. And there goes a wheel. It's the same wheel that Kale disables on drive. And now unnecessary violence barely working in the corner. And that looks like it's gonna be it. Yep, indeed. The countdown has started. And Reticle is going to annihilate unnecessary violence. And move to 2-0.
Knockout.
Reticle just completely dominated that fight. This was just sheer brutality. This was the perfect match for Reticle. Unnecessary violence just didn't have any way to deal with horizontal spinners, and they paid the price for that. They got sent spinning some of the most brutal shots we've ever seen. Reticle showed no mercy. And while it took a decent while, unnecessary violence took a ton of shots. Like, they almost made it in 2 minutes with Reticle, which was insane. Reticle eventually was able to land the shots to knock them out. And well, this is a very impressive win for Reticle, as they now sit at 2-0. Unnecessary violence sinks to 0-2. Now, you gotta be worried about Reticle's strength of schedule. Unnecessary violence about to just be is now 0-2, and Arctic Quintet, they, if you have seen the second fight, they're also 0-2. So Reticle's opponents have a combined of 0 wins. So we'll see if they can beat any stronger bots in their third and fourth fights. For our midway fight, we see Uppercut taking on Hydra. Uppercut Season 1's 3rd place, coming back to 4 with a win over Nightmare. They haven't really fought any tough bots this season. I mean, they only had 1 fight so far. This is the 2nd. They're looking to bounce back from their abysmal Season 2 performance, while Hydra is looking for a very convincing win. Their first 2 fights, their challengers match against Endgame, and then their first fight against Sanawayachi, both of those they struggled a decent amount in. And they're taking on what could be their strongest opponent yet, and also the strongest opponent on their schedule. Hydra has the power, it has the forks, but if Uppercut gets underneath, it could very well be game over for Hydra. So this is going to be a very good test for the Flipper bot, this rookie Flipper, to see if it really is up to snuff, or if Uppercuts will go to 2-0 and rip them apart. Winner goes 2-0 is only 1 fight away from clinching a spot in the playoffs. Let's see who wins it down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Uppercut getting underneath Hydra in the first exchange. But oh, Hydra landing a bit of a flip, sending Uppercut for a tumble, but they're upside down, but Uppercut seems to be okay. But aren't they really okay? They seem to be having trouble moving. And that's gonna do it already. Hydra splits Uppercut. Oh, sending half the bot flying. Hydra celebrating as that was the win they were looking for. 2 flips and the fight was over. What a performance.
3, 2, 1, knockout.
Well, that was a dominant win from Hydra. They took 1 shot from Uppercut and decided, yeah, I don't like this. And then they first shot sent Uppercut tumbling, and I think did some serious damage actually. You can tell they weren't really moving right after that flip. But the second one was the one that brought the death blow. And Hydra moving to 2-0 on the season. Uppercut still at 1-1, but the path to 4-0 for Hydra is blown wide open. For our fifth fight, it's a show-off between two frozen flippers, Mannerheim and Snowfall. The defending third place completely annihilated for the reigning champion Sawblaze, proving that the weakness of low weapon power was no longer in fact a weakness. As for Snowball, it kind of got stomped by Cobalt in round 1. And now it's facing Desperado potentially, if it can't get a win or even a very good loss here. But Mannerheim is one of the top bots in the entire field, and I'd imagine a favorite to win it all. So it's definitely gonna be a struggle for Snowfall to win. Mannerheim, obviously with that big wedge, just the big block of a frame that makes it so hard to get underneath. But who knows, maybe Snowfall could pull it off. Let's find out down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Mannerheim easily getting underneath Snowfall as you predicted, and now they get them in the corner. This is not good. Whoa, what a flip there. And again, Snowfall nearly goes out of camera range twice in a row. Yeah, Mannerheim's weapon power is definitely a lot higher than it was last season, and definitely not low. But there he goes, and that's gonna do it. Mannerheim with some absolutely ridiculous flips. This bot has it all. Durability, good ground game, and a powerful weapon now. Is there anything that can stop Mannerheim? We'll maybe see later on. Who knows? Coming up next, we have Bombshell taking on Duck, a rematch from real life. Duck was able to get the win in real life and was able to get the win over Thunderbolt in the first round, while Bombshell lost to Riptide pretty handily. They got kind of annihilated. And Duck didn't even take a flip from Thunderbolt, so both bots are on very opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of performance in their first fights. So Duck is looking to go 2-0, Bombshell is looking to survive and not fall to 0-2. Let's see who can get underneath, because that's going to be what's important down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Bombshell getting underneath Duck in the first exchange, but Duck immediately counters, getting right underneath Bombshell, and no Bombshell. They're trying to keep Bombshell upside down, but it keeps going forwards. Yep, that'll do it. Duck backing away. They have the perfect lift they need. And this fight is already over. Just like real life, Duck defeats Bombshell in a single lift.
Knockout.
Was really exactly what Duck wanted to do. They used the lifter and they got Bombshell over. Nothing much to it. They now sit at 2-0 with two very strong wins. And as for the Bombshell, it now sits at 0-2 with two very disastrous losses and might have to consider the Desperado tournament. For a second to last fight, the Elementals take on Gigabyte. The Elementals sitting at 2-0 after Fire took home the win against the Uppercut. I mean, 1-0 in this season after Fire took home the win. Their career record is 2-0. Gigabyte, meanwhile, lost to Lucky in a fight that they could have won, but it wasn't really great for them. But Gigabyte, I'd say, has the advantage over most of the bots of the Elemental, especially the Lightning, so they're not going to use the Vert. Probably the Flipper as well, maybe even the Lifter, and honestly could have advantage over the Horizontal as well. It's going to be very tricky for the Elementals to decide who they're going to pick against the full body sprinters such as Gigabyte. And that, honestly, we won't know what this fight is going to be like until we see those bots down the arena. So let's just go down there and see how this fight goes. The Elementals have chosen Earth for this fight. Very interesting. Let the bot battle begin. Ooh, great deflection by Earth. And gets Gigabyte in the corner, and this they could be stuck, but Gigabyte is able to escape, and the front wedge has come off of Earth, and oh my goodness, this fight is over already. Gigabyte just tore Earth apart. My goodness. I mean, sure, Gigabyte, you could have thought that it would win, but probably not like that, not that brutally. The first shot was just a perfect deflection from Earth, honestly. They really didn't do anything wrong there. It's just that their lifter failed them when they tried to get a lift. They got underneath, and it looked like Gigabyte could have been stuck, but unfortunately Gigabyte escaped and only needed 2 more shots to rip Earth apart. Now both bots sit at 1-1. It's time for the main event, and this is a great one. 2 of the most powerful vertical spinners in the entire field, Riptide and the other Glitch. Both bots have incredibly powerful 3D printed weapons, and both bots dominated their opponents in the first round. And Riptide knocked out Bombshell in episode 4, while the other Glitch took down Titan in episode 1. The very first fight of the season, in fact. Kind of ironic that they're in the last fight of the second round. It's all going to come down to who gets underneath, because whoever gets underneath, they're going to destroy the wedge of the opponent, and then they're just going to land brutal shots and end the fight from there. But whoever wins this fight sits at 2-0. The other Glitch managed to go 4-0 back in season 2, sorry, while Riptide started off 2-0 and then didn't win a fight until this season. So, very interesting fight, but sealing nothing for either of these bots. Let's go down to the arena to see the main event. Let the main event begin. Riptide getting underneath the other Glitch and ripping the wedge off. Not a very good start for the other Glitch, but they do have some wedge left on the very ends of the front of the bot. You know, they're doing what they can to keep Riptide at bay, and due to the length and shape of the frame, it seems to be working out fairly well so far. But there's a huge shot from Riptide, sending the other Glitch flying, and that's gonna be it, out of the arena. My predictions came true. Riptide just got underneath and destroyed the wedge, and then completely annihilated the other Glitch after that. Sent them flying out of the arena. Riptide sits at a strong 2-0, while the other Glitch still at a comfortable 1-1.